Pokemon Sword and Shield has been swept over by a tsunami of negativity as of late. I feel like whatever goodwill they built in the recent Pokemon Direct has kind of washed away, and that's a bit of a big bummer because Gabe and I were at the LA Convention Center at E3 last week, and we walked away feeling like this is possibly the strongest showing that Pokemon has put forth in our memory. But should you still be excited? Is there enough good here to overcome that National Dex crisis? What's going on, everybody? It's Zach. Gabe is here. And this has gotten weird quick. Talk about those dislikes.
Yeah, okay. So the video for the treehouse for Pokemon Sword and Shield has like 6,000 likes and like 26,000 dislikes.
Which is a big deal, especially for a Nintendo property where typically the love is overflowing.
Yeah. And one more thing I want to say is the impression that we got, right, being so taken aback by how cool the game looks, this National Pokedex thing hadn't broke yet.
Right.
So I want to keep that in mind whenever we're talking about how much we are really liking the game. And I also want to tell Pokemon fans that I understand their anger. I might not agree with it because it's, frankly, to me, it's not as big an issue, but I understand why people are angry. I just can't believe how much dislikes that video is getting. But regardless, I still think this game is well worth people's attention. And I think that at the end of the day, they're going to be happy with the Pokemon game they're getting.
I really hope so. And obviously, in any capacity, a mainline Pokemon game is worth all the attention. It's just that the taste in the collective Pokemouth right now seems to be one that's very sour and very spiteful. And we had so much fun with the demo, and I think presentation-wise, they truly are putting together a package that feels leveled up. Now, we only got to play a small section of the game. We got to play a gym battle, and we got to see Nessa, and we got to Dynamax once, mess around with the starters, and get a chance to test out some of the new Gen 8 other Pokemon. Yamper, Impidimp, one of the greatest Pokemon to ever be created. I think there are so many things that are going right for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I hope that this National Dex crisis is eventually averted one way or another. I'm not going to speculate on what the end game of this all is, but here's the deal. Pokemon Sword and Shield is presenting the Pokemon mainline series in a way that we've never seen before. The stylistic choices here and the Dynamax massive nature of these gym battles is super impressive, and seeing it on a big TV is very, very awesome. Now, obviously, Pokemon is a great game to take handheld, but I've seen numerous people echo our sentiment that I want to play at least the gym battles on TV because that scale, that scope, and that just sort of immersion is probably so much better had on a big display versus just in the palm of your hands.
And it's easy to think Dynamax if we're talking scale, scope, immersion, sure. But the wild areas are something that you and I didn't really get to mess with at E3, so that's what I'm excited for. And you're right, I want to play this on a big screen TV. At least lately, a lot of handheld. That's how I've been playing my Switch. Cadence of Hyrule, played it all handheld. It's been like a complete 180 from how I used to play. But for Pokemon, I know I'm going to go back to that big screen because at E3, the way they had it set up there, I thought it looked awesome. And I personally can't wait to have that experience on my own, in my home, sitting from the sofa. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and they're really just, I feel, nailing the things that, in a similar fashion to Let's Go last year when we came away from E3, like, wow, this is way better than we thought. I had that same sense about Sword and Shield, but even greater because this one is brand new, and they're doing things the right way, I feel, save for the current, calamity. They are nailing the early Gen 8 designs. The ones we've seen thus far are all so cool. Yeah. I think experiencing them in person, like Scorbunny, Sobble, and Grookey, is a great trio.
They are. And you said Impidimp, one of the best Pokemon ever. We're kind of joking, but I think he's
I'm not.
He's super cool.
I love him.
I love the design of Dreadnought. Just aesthetically, the Pokemon, they're super on point. I'm happy with the design so far. So
far, the ones that we've seen are really good. And there's plenty more to be revealed. But that's another thing that I think they are doing well here. They are being careful to show and highlight certain aspects that are very important, like Dynamaxing, like the scale, the presentation, some of the new Pokemon, especially the starters. But there's a lot under wraps. So this is one of the most exciting, I think, Pokemon experiences that we've seen. We know that at a foundational level, all the right pieces are there, right? The graphics are looking good. Okay, you've got this wild area concept that we haven't had a chance to mess with, but on paper and on video looks really enticing and like a notable step up. I mean, camera movement in certain games is very critical, and allowing you to have that free flex within the wild area I think is going to be key. I'll bring up a parallel. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. That game, on paper, sounds like it's an identical redo or redux of what Lego has done in the past, but in person, that game has changed the camera perspective. You now have free control, and it made all the difference in the world. So I really feel like getting to firsthand explore the wild area with both sticks is going to be a big deal. It really is.
Yeah.
And I love the designs of the characters we've seen thus far. The new professor seems cool. Nessa is fantastic. That's a fan art dream for many people on social media. And they also are doing a nice job of showing little tweaks, right? The gym we got to partake in had a pretty interesting puzzly challenge to get to the gym leader. And there are many more little tweaks like that seem to say, hey, we are making the strides towards a new era of Pokemon as you all hoped and then didn't think we'd get, and now definitely are expecting.
Even the grass gym leader, right? Like when he was shown, the internet loved him. They're like, oh, he's a cute thick boy. Like just all these like memes, and it's the culture we're in. But you're right. So much of what we haven't seen is the things that we're looking forward to the most. I want to have those raids, man. Like,
yeah, there's true multiplayer PvE battles here. That's freaking awesome. Yeah. And you can play with your friends. You can go in and fill in if you don't have a full group. Everyone gets a chance to catch the Pokemon. They're making smart choices, and as much as we may feel dismayed about certain aspects, I want to make sure that the applause is there, because we got to play some really cool games at E3. Zelda Link's Awakening. Yeah, it's a remake of a Game Boy game, but it is a big tentpole franchise. Luigi's Mansion 3 was spectacular. That was a great demo, and that world looks so very diverse and interesting. We got to play, Wolfenstein Youngblood. We got to play Resident Evil. We got to play Dauntless and Dead by Daylight. We got to see Hollow Knight Silksong. We got to experience and see a bunch. And yet Pokemon Sword and Shield, the most tried and true franchise there probably, impressed because of the things it's doing different, better, and with extreme polish.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job there.
I think that the gotta catch 'em all nature of these games should include everything. I think it's weird to expand into a new world and leave something behind, because we're not clear on what that would be. And every person has their own taste, their own takes, their own favorites, their own plans, their own teams. And so from that standpoint, it is disappointing.
Yeah, for sure.
And when franchises continue to expand, include, and then there's a change, that always is going to be received more harshly. So I see it, I get it. It's one of those things. I think you got to look at the other pieces of the puzzle, and that's what we can do. We can play the game that's there, and we can see the game that's there, and we don't know how many Pokemon are going to be a part of Gen 8. We don't know what their final Pokedex count will be, but we do know that the gyms look awesome. The fleshed out stadiums with the sort of esports or even regular sports like feel is incredible. And we know that Dynamaxing, while seeming like a very kind of like safe feature, in person is like witnessing the most mammoth Pokemon battle you have. It's like Stadium to a whole nother degree. And the raids, like you touched on, getting to play with your friends in a totally new way. And the wild area, experiencing the Pokemon unknown in a new way. And the fact that they've combined hidden encounters, random encounters with Pokemon visible on screen. The fact that they've done away with the silly motion stuff and are back to the tried and true catching formula. I feel like this is still the game that we wanted and we needed and will love. And I hope that over the weeks and the months, because we still have time, 5 months to be specific, I hope that outweighs, and I'm urging you out there, it's a great new Pokemon. And maybe it turns out to not be the best, or maybe the full Gen 8 lineup isn't the most exciting, but so far, so good. And we walked away being like, that's the game we got to get for Switch. And I don't think entering E3, I don't think any of the years we would have thought that Pokemon would be sort of our gotta have it top title.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, and I have to agree with you. And I hope that people not get over it. That sounds wrong. And I wish Game Freak did things a little bit differently. And a lot of amazing people in the community out there. I'll say Joe Merrick, I guess, from Cerebi. He's thrown a lot of fixes out there out of how they could just do it right. And so much of what he has said, maybe go check out Cerebi. It's a fantastic source for all Pokemon stuff. We check it quite a bit. So I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, Game Freak's listening. Hopefully, people do turn around on this a little bit, because I really feel like this is a fun game. We played it, we saw it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it in November. I think it's still going to be a beloved entry in the series. It's just maybe going to take a while for people to see what's truly special, because you got to remember, people have seen trailers and they saw it direct, and yeah, there was the treehouse stuff. They showed a lot, but if they can somehow get over this, Pokedex hurdle, I think people are going to really enjoy what's here, because what's here seems to be like truly special.
I think they absolutely will. I think this ends up being a stunning example of what Pokemon can do, and maybe it's not the ultimate realization, but it's definitely pushing boundaries, and it's definitely expanding in ways that we did hope, and it therefore becomes our most anticipated and most hyped game coming to Switch, and pretty soon. I'm sure there'll be another presentation of some sort, whether it's part of an August Direct, just a generic Direct, whether they have one more pre-launch Pokemon Direct. We're going to get some more Pokemon. We're going to get some more looks, probably at another gym leader or at another town, and hopefully at that point, at that time, all of this good stuff, all of this new, fun, polished Poke stuff can really just cement this as the must-have game, and I have no doubt that it will sell insanely well, and I have no doubt that you'll end up liking it. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about Pokemon Sword and Shield post E3, and have some of the impressions you've heard from us or elsewhere on the internet kind of calm down some of that frustration, fear, and worry. Let us know in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and are pumped for Pokemon Sword and Shield. We're still fighting over Sword and Shield over here, because it was going to be a Sword Shield little split, and
still is.
Now it's a Shield Sword.
No.
Shield. It's fine. Shield. We can both be Shield boys. That's all good. So Shield boys, until next time, thanks so much for watching, everybody. We love you. And for myself and Gabe, Switch Force out.